Yeah, rivals, it's a dangerous guy because it's a boxing. One punch, go home. This is dangerous, man, I know. But.
So therefore, the only way, if anyone is to beat him, is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk.
Number 2 with these defenses. Yeah. Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taken like, all right, who's the next in line? All right, I'm fighting him. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
During a live interview, Oleksandr Usyk confidently took a jab at Floyd Mayweather, declaring that he has consistently faced top-tier opponents throughout his career and still emerged victorious. He went further, boldly claiming that even at this stage of his career, his footwork and conditioning are superior to Mayweather's. While it may have sounded playful, Usyk's remark was a clear statement about his elite fitness and the high level of competition he's conquered.
Don't be afraid.
Well, good evening. Hope you're enjoying our Monday night football coverage. Oleksandr Usyk, not a bad striker in his time. Thierry and Jamie are in studio. If you were fighting Thierry Henry, how would you get inside of his head?
Yeah, Thierry is a great player, but hey, Thierry, my legs be better with you. Thierry, don't be afraid. My legs better.
What'd you make of that?
Sometimes you have to stay in your lane, and I will stay in my lane.
As Oleksandr Usyk approaches the twilight of his legendary career, only 2 fights remain before he retires from the sport. This revelation has sparked intense excitement and speculation across the boxing world. Fans, analysts, and fellow fighters are all eagerly watching his next steps. Given the incredible legacy he's built, whoever stands across from him next will inevitably be part of a historic moment. The anticipation is sky high, as audiences await to witness how this generational icon concludes his remarkable journey.
Usyk, that he's got 2 more fights in the bag at this point, that you reckon, yeah?
I interviewed him before. I sat down with him and had a chat with him before the Dubois fight. And yeah, he was just like, I've got 2 fights left.
He's never fought in the Ukraine, he's never fought in his home country, or defended his title, I should say. So that's got to be on his wish list.
I would imagine so, but with what's going on in this country, it's just a disgrace. It's still going on. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
No. But hopefully we'll get some peace there, and then maybe you'll get
I'd love to, yeah. I'd love to see peace in this country and for him and his family. And that would be an amazing event.
As Oleksandr Usyk approaches the final chapter of his legendary career, the list of potential opponents is narrowing. And now, the WBO has officially ordered him to defend his undisputed heavyweight crown against interim champion Joseph Parker. The fight has gained immediate traction, with both camps given 30 days to negotiate before a purse bid is enforced. Parker's impressive recent wins over Deontay Wilder and Martin Bacol have made him a legitimate challenger, earning praise from fans, analysts, and even boxing great Lennox Lewis. Promoter Frank Warren fully supports the matchup, calling it the ideal final test for Usyk's remarkable run.
Again, my gut feeling is that Joseph Parker fights for the WBO belt, but he doesn't fight Oleksandr Usyk. He fights the next man up. I haven't got the list in front of me, so I don't know the rankings. So I guess if you're Joseph Parker, the question is, I mean, what is it you want? Ultimately, if you want a world title shot and you think you've been blackballed from getting a world title shot or pushed to the back, then well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the #1 for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Said it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened.
Jai Opetaia, a rising star in the boxing world, has publicly expressed his admiration for Oleksandr Usyk and his ambition to face him in the ring. To Opetaia, Usyk represents more than just a champion. He embodies the standard of greatness for this generation. His eagerness to challenge such a legendary figure highlights the deep impact Usyk has had on emerging fighters. A potential showdown would be both meaningful and competitive, bridging two distinct eras of boxing excellence.
Of yours is to go to heavyweight. You're giving me a little smirk. Like, is that like a dream scenario for you to fight one of those two guys?
I would love to fight Usyk, you know, respectfully. You know, I've always been so close to him. You know what I mean? Like I was 16 years old. I qualified for the Olympics. I competed at 17, little kid, and he won that Olympic Games. Like I've always been there. You know what I mean? I've always just been. It wasn't my time yet, you know, but I feel like my time's coming.
Oleksandr Usyk has built an extraordinary legacy by consistently taking on the toughest opponents in the heavyweight division. Unlike many champions who spent most of their careers in lower weight classes, Usyk moved up and refused to take easy fights. He actively pursued the most dangerous challengers. Analysts agree that his bold transition was not only rare but historic. His two victories over Tyson Fury, a fighter once seen as nearly invincible, serve as undeniable proof of Usyk's dominance at the sport's highest level. Both wins coming by knockout, cementing his place among the all-time greats.
He's by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk, who is fighting big men, sometimes giving up 40-pound weight advantages. And unfortunately, that does mean that if Oleksandr Usyk goes on for 4, 5, 6 more fights, of course, he is going to be defeated, in my opinion. But I would love that to not be the case. I would love it to not be the case. What I would love to be the case right now, as a boxing fan, is Oleksandr Usyk to walk off into the sunset. I think he's proven everything that he could possibly prove. And there's been debates, and especially I remember after the first few Joshua fights, there were debates over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield.
What truly sets Oleksandr Usyk apart from his peers isn't just his undefeated record, it's how he earned it. Usyk never shied away from risk. He sought it out. Every fight was a challenge, every setting hostile, yet he rose to the occasion with brilliance, composure, and supreme ring IQ. His flawless footwork and ability to adapt under pressure allowed him to consistently outthink and outfight much larger opponents. Usyk's legacy extends beyond belts. He represents heart, precision, and courage. In a sport where greatness is often measured by names on a resume, Usyk's greatness is defined by the timing, difficulty, and dominance of those victories. He's more than a champion. He's a symbol of boxing excellence.
Sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield. Listen, that argument, a lot of people wanted to rubbish that at first. That argument is a real argument that can be made now. Because when you look at what Oleksandr Usyk's done, remember Evander Holyfield was in a cruiserweight division that, I'm not going to say was in its infancy, but it wasn't, it wasn't the cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in. The cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in, I believe, was a more stacked, more competitive cruiserweight division. And the way Usyk left that division, he left it by cleaning it out. The World Boxing Super Series tournament was something that actually got the best fighting the best and got the best names coming into it and entering, and we weren't really seeing that at the time.
Floyd Mayweather has long held the title of pound-for-pound king, known for his impeccable technique, defensive genius, and unblemished record. His reign across multiple weight divisions solidified his place among boxing's all-time greats. Yet in the current era, Oleksandr Usyk has risen as a formidable counterpart, drawing comparisons few imagined. With undisputed championships in multiple divisions and victories over top-tier heavyweights, Usyk is now recognized as today's pound-for-pound standout. A hypothetical showdown between Mayweather and Usyk, even as an exhibition, would transcend mere entertainment. It would represent a clash of eras, styles, and philosophies. Mayweather's precision and defense versus Usyk's movement, adaptability, and calculated aggression. A true collision of boxing legacies.
I think Floyd is one of the worst fighters ever. That's my hot take on Floyd. Now let me stop trolling. Now that I got y'all baited in. I think we always say like, oh, how great Floyd is. But when you really sit there and think about it, Floyd was really special. Like, when we talk about generational, it's going to be a very, very, very long time till we see Floyd. Like, Pernell was great. He was a great defensive wizard. Pernell trapped himself a lot. He was able to find himself out of his own traps. Pernell would give up outside lead foot position to a lot of big punchers, and he was still able to be elusive and get away. That's impressive. Floyd would sit on the ropes against guys like Canelo, Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Cotto, and either evade every shot or get away. Like, Floyd is crazy. He's not my favorite fighter. He's far from my favorite, but I mean, I think he's the best pound for pound fighter of all time. I don't think there's much debate for it. Did Floyd fight everybody he was supposed to? No, we got to be honest. He just didn't. Most people don't. Did Floyd fight everybody at their best? No, that's impossible. Was Floyd the most slippery, defensively sound, technical boxers of all time? Hell yeah. Like I said, I'm not the hugest Floyd fan, but I just sit here watch him dominate my boy Canelo. You guys know Canelo, he's one of my favorite, but God, Floyd, different type of boxer, you know. We hated him when he was here. I kind of miss Floyd now.
Floyd Mayweather's legacy is built on precision, control, and defensive mastery, while Oleksandr Usyk's greatness is defined by relentless movement, tactical pressure, and exceptional mental sharpness. Usyk's rise has come through grueling battles and a refusal to take the easy route. Where Mayweather displayed perfection and finesse, Usyk thrives in high-risk, high-stakes warfare. His dominant performance against Daniel Dubois reaffirmed what many already believed. Usyk doesn't just win. He outclasses with intellect. Despite Dubois's raw power, Usyk's superior footwork, timing, and ring strategy rendered him ineffective. That victory wasn't just another notch on Usyk's record. It was further proof of his ability to conquer physical disadvantages with elite technique and mental brilliance.
Up in different directions. Even I wasn't sure because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, you know, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. You know, Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age or whatnot, you know. So you know, you could get where all of a sudden, you know, it's not there on the night. So and you know, you had
heavyweights takes 1 second, one split second, you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second, you know, who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But, you know, Usyk, you know, flawless performance technically, you know, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he slides that weak side, slides that weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, you know, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know, but
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. Like, you waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize, like, I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown. You saw his spirit leave his body. Not as if he's dying. I mean, his fighting spirit just completely leave his body. Yeah. And we've seen that before. It happened the last time. And a lot of people were asking me during fight week. They're like, "Hey, man, Dubois looks really good. What do you think?" I'm like, it doesn't.
Turki Usyk has emerged as a key force in modern boxing, renowned for orchestrating major, high-profile matchups. His growing influence has fueled speculation that even the most unlikely fantasy fights, like a potential clash between Floyd Mayweather and Oleksandr Usyk, could become reality. While the odds remain low, Usyk's reputation and global reach make him a figure capable of uniting two icons from vastly different boxing worlds in one extraordinary event. His track record speaks for itself.
Turki Usyk might be the only billionaire I truly like. Don't get me wrong, if you're a billionaire, you're probably hiding some pretty shady stuff, not gonna lie. But this dude is a G. If you know, you know. This guy is a huge combat sports fan. Mostly boxing. This guy does everything he can to try and create the best boxing events in the world. Dude uses his money for the power of good by creating the most testosterone, aura-filled boxing matches imaginable. And after, it seems like forever, months, maybe even years of him trying to get Canelo Alvarez to fight Terrence Crawford, he finally penciled it in. He got it done a couple months ago. Here's why I'm making this video. Turki Usyk, I fucking love this guy. If either one of these two guys win by knockout, he's going to give out a huge bonus to him. It's important to note that this isn't going to be like a $50,000 bonus that they have in the UFC. We're talking Saudi oil money. Expect millions and millions of dollars. This is a quote by him. We will not have Tom and Jerry fights anymore. We will have in this fight and in our next fights a bonus for a KO. Thank God. Dude, the biggest reason why I'm more of an MMA fan, and even a bare knuckle fan, than boxing is because I'm tired of the dancing. 12 rounds of just dancing. It literally puts you to sleep. And the last boxing event I paid for, I don't even remember the dude's freaking name. It was the last guy I think Canelo Alvarez fought. I don't even care to know his name. All the dude did was dance around for 12 rounds just to lose. He didn't do anything. It was one of the worst fights ever. Everybody thought they got scammed because they had to pay money for that. Even Turki Usyk was pissed. You could see it because he's done with this crap. He's done. He's finally putting an end to this. He's going to be giving out probably $1 million bonuses for every time somebody gets knocked out. Thank God. All right? Now I'm actually excited for this fight.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more soon.